Hey, it's Joe Calloway, and here's something you might need to tell your employees or tell them again, which is that your culture or the values that you talk about, every now and then at your meetings, that those values are real. They're not just for show. That if, for example, one of your values is that we will treat people with respect, that you will not tolerate anyone who is disrespectful. That goes for customers as well as employees. That if, for example, you have someone that continually violates your values, violates the agreed upon rules of the culture, of how we've decided we behave with each other, that if that person simply refuses to change, here's something you tell that employee: you're fired. And when you do it, even though that's a tough thing to do, it's not easy, but when you do it, watch the morale of everybody else. It will skyrocket. So think about what you need to say to your employees. Have a great day. Bye.
Hey, it's Randy Pennington with one thing your employees need to know. Things are going to change. In fact, if they don't change, we're doing something wrong and missing opportunities. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about everything being in chaos. The marketplace expects your organization to be faster, better, cheaper, and friendlier tomorrow than it is today. And that doesn't happen unless every person at every level looks for new ways to improve your performance. You want your business to be better, right? Well, if you're going to make things better, you have to do things differently. And if you want to do things different, you have to change. There's one more thing. There will be practical ideas for engaging your employees at the Five Friends Business Summit. So make sure that you sign up soon. It's November 2nd and 3rd in Las Vegas. Space is limited, and we'll see you there.
What's something you should share with your employees that they probably don't know? How about teaching them to understand simple financial statements? P&Ls, income statements, and the information they need to understand cost of goods and services sold and the cost of doing business. Chances are a few of them have done the simple math and think you're making more money than any human being deserves. And while your business might be profitable, everyone from the owner to the employees is well served when they understand what it takes to profitably do business. I suggest that you teach the class yourself. I don't think you should try to boil the ocean. Keep it simple, but make sure that people get the basics of financial management and considerations for your organization. At the end, allow plenty of time for questions and answers, and either at that meeting or maybe a future meeting, armed with the information that you've provided, you can brainstorm ways to be more efficient, more financially responsible, and more profitable. That's some information you probably haven't shared with your employees, but both you and they would benefit from knowing.
So what's the one thing your employees really need to know? Well, I know we're going to be talking about that a lot at the upcoming Five Friends Business Summit in Las Vegas. Hope to see you there. But here's what they really need to know. They are your most important asset. There's no doubt about it. Quality employees who create relationships with customers are the single most important asset, I believe, of any business. It's how you create distinction. It's how you deliver the ultimate customer experience. So now, how do you make certain that your employees know that they're your biggest asset? You stop treating them like an expense. So many times businesses treat their teams like they're an expense. So think about for a moment how you would treat an expense differently from an asset. An expense you try to prune and you try to minimize and you try to reduce, and assets you nurture and you help to grow. When you help your employees grow, when you nurture them as the asset that they are, then they know the one thing they most need to.
Let's talk about what your employees need to know, but chances are you haven't told them. I believe people need to know how what they do, their job, ties in to the overall big picture job of the company. You see, we're real good at hiring people and telling them what their very specific job is. We hire them and say, listen, your job is to stand right here at this cash register, take people's stuff, put it in a sack, say thank you, and send them on their way. Your job is to carry out the trash and sweep the floors and do all that. Your job is to make sales or do customer service or to manage this group of people. But we rarely take the time to say, let me explain to you how your job ties to their job and how it contributes to the overall success of what we all do here every single day. Take a moment with every one of your employees and explain to them how what they do contributes to the overall bottom line of the entire company.